Hello everyone, and welcome to our session where today we'll talk about how to create an effective pitch, which is your first step in becoming an effective communicator of your business. Now, no doubt, it is one of the most essential skills that every entrepreneur should learn. I mean, overall, communication, fortunately or unfortunately, is essential to selling your business, product, or service, be it to investors or even your customers. Now, not all entrepreneurs are great communicators. Even the best of us, including myself, sometimes talk about the business so much that we end up missing the point. But we all should be aware that effective communication is something we really need to learn, and that is crafted over time as you set out to pitch an idea to investors, for example. Frankly, you can have a great pitch and not get an investor, and sometimes a bad pitch somehow lands you an investor. For example, I know someone who raised $3 million, but his pitch, by his own admission, was not very good at all. It also reminds me of that Steve Jobs movie that starred Ashton Kutcher in a scene where Steve Wozniak pitched his computer invention that was not so appealing overall, but managed to snag their very first investor for Apple. So again, not all pitches are created equal, but there is a way we can seemingly turn a bad pitch into a good one. So let's get into that part. Now, the earlier you get your pitch right and the more you put yourself out there, the likelihood of your business, product, or service will gain traction. Now, no matter where you are in your entrepreneurial journey, there is no doubt you need to become an effective communicator of your business in order to sell your products, hire employees, raise capital, and so on. I mean, reading books and attending clubs or seminars that could really help you in this area is helpful. But the most common way to grow in becoming an effective communicator is really through a lot of practice and trial and error. So to maximize your chances of honing a great pitch, it's always important to practice talking about your business with yourself and people around you who can give you both negative and positive feedback as a start. Now, I wasn't always good at pitches myself, as it's always evolving. I mean, I've just learned over time to pitch my business in many different ways depending on who I am speaking with. But there is a basic structure that is generally a good rule of thumb to follow. And that basic structure to start is to have an effective elevator pitch. Now, it's called an elevator pitch because it shouldn't last longer than a short elevator ride of 20-30 seconds, hence the name. The elevator pitch creates the first impression of you and your business and should be compelling, clear, and simple so that any listener, no matter where you are and who you talk to, can understand what your business does in seconds. Now, an effective pitch sparks interest, draws the listener into your world to take the next step into learning more about your business. An elevator pitch is ever evolving and is tested over time. So don't worry about getting it right the first time. There are ways to approach this, but let's just start with the 5 basics to get you started in these simple steps. First, you want to, of course, introduce yourself, and then immediately follow by a quick 1-sentence description of your business. Thirdly, it's then followed by the market pain or problem, and then introducing your solution as a 4th step, and lastly, having a call to action. So, I mean, I like to say that a pitch should be personal to your style, but using words that are simple, powerful, and familiar. Because I tend to be in more conversational mode most of the time, I have a general pitch that goes something like this. Hi, I'm William, and I'm the founder of Posture 360. Back pain is the #1 cause of disability, causing various levels of neurological problems in 4 in 5 adults globally. So we solve these spinal problems through AI devices that integrate into our products to relieve people of pain. We're currently raising $5 million and would love to discuss the possibility of you investing in us. So there is no shortage of YouTube videos and articles on what an elevator pitch should look like, but it is important to find a format that you're comfortable with to start. Then you practice it like crazy, whether it's in front of a mirror, in front of a close group of family and friends, and just keep honing it, improving it, and until it just rolls off your tongue. Now, the last point, which is something that most do not cover when it comes to pitching, but I find it to be the most powerful, which is the nonverbal component of your elevator pitch. I would say this is probably the absolute foundation of your elevator pitch, that is the engine of your words, I like to call it. The nonverbal communication are things like body language, eye contact, use of hands, and your proximity with that person. Studies have shown that nonverbal communication is more important than verbal, where generally 55% of the meaning of any message is generated by face and body, with about 36% derived from the way anyone speaks. For example, the tone and volume of your voice. 10% of your overall communication actually come from your words. I mean, you probably know and have used the term, he gives me a bad vibe, or she has a good vibe. So be passionate and let people feel you. Remember, you only have like 20, 30 seconds to make a first impression, sometimes even less. First impressions are important, and it will speak volumes about you and your business with words supporting what you want to convey for people to understand. Thanks for joining me, and look forward to seeing you in our next session.